What's up, everybody, and welcome to Coaching Company Live on a glorious Friday. You are watching us and waking up with us, and we can't thank you enough for hanging out with us. We are live on the stadium Monday through Friday, and so if you're just seeing this for the first time, thank you for hanging out with us. But hang out with us as we come to you live at 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, right here on the Stadium Network. Well, listen, I am Daniel Greer stepping in for Coach today, who is off on a travel day, stepping in from a great and successful PFL event last night. But we have so much that we want to get into the entire day as we talk Derby, we talk hoops. There's so much. But before we get there, let's go ahead and take a step back and look at how we did yesterday. And it was a kind of it was a fine day. It was 4-5. It wasn't something that we're going to brag about for sure, but a little Splitsville, as we call it. But we're going to have a bounce back Friday. We have Footy Friday with Chuck. So you know that we're already above, we're already ahead, and we have our company just at the door, banging down, trying to get in. So let's waste no time today because it is action packed. And let's go ahead and beat the books. Oh, look at these good looking fellas we have today. But before we kind of say hello, and Rafael was not talking to you about good looking, but we have a guy who is my nemesis. I have something I want to share with you first and foremost because we have another guy in Peyton who is your other nemesis. So, producer man, if we have a video for Mr. Soup Dog here.
Which is as easy as riding this bike. What else are you gonna tell me? The Rockies lost today? Water's wet. Oh, Soupy. Which is as easy as riding this bike. What else are you gonna tell me? The Rockies lost today? Water's wet. Oh, Soupy. Just riding home after another.
Wow. All right, Soupy. I want to come to you. One, that little ding at the very end was like very perfect for that entire thing. But Soupy, good morning. And what do you make of that video there from your other nemesis in Peyton?
Good morning to you, everybody. You know what? I'm not going to take a guy who doesn't know anything about safety. It's nighttime. He's obviously not paying attention with earbuds in. He's holding his phone in one hand, and he's not wearing a helmet. Mistakes continually, Peyton. Come on, man.
Yeah, young and dumb for sure. We have our other guy on the very end, the one that actually makes Rafael. It kind of steps in for his looks. But Zeno, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I quit riding bikes. I just walk now. Just easier. Walk or drive. Yeah, that's it.
We're not young and dumb. Why are we out there riding bikes? But Chuck, how are you? It is a beautiful Footy Friday, Footy Saturday, Footy Sunday. Good morning to you, Chuck.
Morning, D to the G company. Nice little Friday, Footy Friday, action packed, plenty of NBA, NHL. So, yeah, we got plenty to choose from. Kentucky Derby, couldn't ask for more.
Speaking of Kentucky Derby, we have Rafael here who is jacked up about it, but you're a little pissed off that it could rain.
Yeah, rain tonight, rain tomorrow, but it doesn't stop that. There's rain in New York with boxing outside today, so rain's going to be all around what I'm viewing today and tomorrow.
Yeah, there will be some bad weather, and we're going to get into the boxing matches that are taking place in Madison Square Garden, right outside the Mecca. We'll get into all of that and much more. But before we go and talk about all of that, you're here because you want the plays, you want the picks. So let's go ahead and give them to you. And Soupy, if you don't mind, if you would lead us off, sir.
Oh, you want me to lead off? Okay. I'm starting with the Rockets. I think that last game 5, I think it was an outliner. They shot really well. They shot quick. They scored quick. And the kind of game just ran away really quickly. A lot of those Warrior players didn't end up playing the starters. Jimmy Butler played 25 minutes. That was the most of any starter. I don't think they're going to have that type of run in this game. I think it's going to be more defensive minded. That's why I'm going with the under 99.5 points. And then let's go to the Diamond. Mets first half, first 5 on the money line. Clay Holmes is going. He's already pitched against the Cardinals. He went 6 innings, just allowed 1 earned. And the Mets, they're the 5th most profitable team in the first 5, and they have the 3rd most wins in the first 5 going against the Cardinals. I like that tonight.
Targeting the Mets there. The Mets have been playing well, and the Cardinals are just not good at all. And so I like that take. But we do have our Kentucky Derby talk today. We're going to call it Talk Derby to Me. So we'll be doing that in our next segment. So make sure you stay tuned. But let's go ahead and go to Zeno here. I know you got some plays that are not Derby plays. So what you got, Zeno?
Yeah, well, look at the Yankees Rays, first 5 under 4.5. They got the best pitcher statistically in baseball on the mound. The Yankees do it. Max Fried has been nearly unhittable all season long. Not reason to expect much against a team in the Rays that's batting 197 against left-handed pitching and has scored the fewest runs on the road this year of any team in Major League Baseball. Rays starter Ryan Pepiot faced the Yankees once already, gave up 3 runs in 6 innings last time out. But again, this is a Rays team that usually has the Yankees number, and the Yankees don't typically put out a lot of offense against the Rays, who have beaten them pretty handily over the last couple of years. So Yankees, Rays, first 5 under 4.5 there. And then we'll go out west tonight for the San Francisco Giants. I know some people don't like to lay the 1.5 with the home team because they may not get that 9th at bat. I don't care, because it's the Colorado Rockies here, who are the worst hitting team in baseball on the road this year against the Giants, who, while not great at home, they're much better offensively than they are on the road. By the way, the Giants are undefeated when starter Robbie Ray is on the mound this year. Rocky starter Antonio Senzatella has allowed at least 4 runs in 3 of his last 4 starts, and he allows 2.1 home runs per 9 innings this year. Giants should be able to push enough runs across here to cover this 1.5.
No, you're not worried about the hot team in the Colorado Rockies? Like they've won 2 in a row now, Zeno.
Yeah, I think it's about time that they start to lose one.
All right, so go ahead and target. We tried to target them yesterday, and they kind of made us look like fools. So today, again, Zeno, we're targeting the Rockies because we know it's going to happen. It's going to the good's going to outweigh the bad there with that terrible Rockies team. Rafael, you got some picks, and I know one of them's Derby. We're going to explain a little bit more your pick a little bit later on, but go ahead and give the people what you're playing today.
I still can't believe the Rockies averaged 30K at home when the horrible baseball team is just crazy. But we're going to race 11, the Kentucky Oaks today at Churchill Downs. Give me $20 win, place, and show first, second, third on the 7-horse La Cara. Female horse, if it's raining, I would say maybe step back your dollar amount on this one because she does not like to run in the rain. But we're just trying to beat the favorite in this one, number 11, Good Cheer at 6-5. I like her. I like her spot that she's in the 7 post. She's sired by one of my favorite horses, Street Skulls. I can't believe it. We're getting this great price on that one. So I think we're going to have a great one. Her last 3 starts this year, she has 2 wins and 1 second. So I'm going to go with La Cara, number 7 horse, win, place, and show for $20. And then NBA, give me Dillon Brooks over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's hit this number in 4 straight games. In the playoffs, he's averaging 15 points a game and almost 4 boards. I think he flies over this number because I think his offense is going to be needed if they want to steal this road game. Mute button.
No, that was a bad mark one. Sorry, boys. We're going to get into more Hoop It Up a little bit later on as we break down that game. What an idiot. I feel like a complete idiot today. I feel like Mark Wallace is what I feel like. But we're not going to get into just the stats just yet because we do have a guy. He is the best soccer capper in all of the land. And we have a little segment that we call a little Footy Friday. Not pushing mute again the rest of the day, Chuck. But listen, I know it's Footy Friday. That's what we call it. But your plays start on Saturday. So give the people what you got there.
At Footy Friday, starting on Saturday, Bundesliga, Gladbach, Hoffenheim. I like as a dog in this match, and to get on the scoreboard early. Hoffenheim, first half, team total over half a goal. They've actually scored 5 first half goals in their last 4 matches. Then we're going to go to France League 1. And we have Strasbourg and PSG, who have their focus on the Champions League semifinals, making this a perfect spot for the home team doubler. Strasbourg first half team total over half a goal, and then Strasbourg team total over 1.5 goals, where they average 1.9 team goals at home. MLS Saturday night, San Jose welcome Portland to town, and the Quakes have been a juggernaut at home. Give me San Jose, team total over 1.5. They actually averaged 2.5 team goals on their home soil. And then lastly, this is on Sunday. We had to have a little EPL. Brighton, Newcastle, with Brighton having scored a first half goal in 9 of their last 10 matches, and Newcastle in 6 straight. This is a perfect spot for the both teams to score in the first half. I can see a 1-1 type scoreline.
Look at that. Beautiful. Plus 240. Well, if you need more from Chuck, he's got you hooked up. All you have to do is go over to his store. It's roicapper.com/store. But if you know how to work that thingy called an iPhone or a phone, go ahead and scan that QR code and it'll take you right to his store where you can go ahead and sign up today. But we have another gentleman that is with us as well, and another brand that we support. And good, Mark, it's good to see you. But I'm hearing good things out of the model as of late within the NBA. How did she do last night?
DG, a lot better than you and that mute button did. She swept the board, got all 6 plays, both totals, ATS, and money line. Hit all 6.
Wow. Yeah, that's big. Anytime you can just completely sweep 6-0, and that is money line, which I know those are a little juicy, but you're talking about going and picking the right team to win, and then picking the right team to cover the spread, and then hitting on the totals as well. So 6-0, go check it out at justastatsports.com. But you have our Just the Stat Sports play of the day. What you got, Mark?
Sure do. I just want to add, it also picked the New York Knicks as the underdog to win that one. So for our play of the day, we've got Chicago White Sox starting pitcher Jonathan Cannon to go over 3.5 strikeouts. And listen, Cannon's not exactly Randy Johnson, but the man has been mowing lately. He's cleared this in 4 straight, averaging 5 Ks per start. And guess who's coming to town? It's the Houston Astros, who apparently forget how to make contact when they leave Texas. They have a 24% K rate in the first 5 innings on the road. We're going to pair that with Houston's Dillon Brooks to score 10 points, a little synergy with Rafael's play. Because if there's one thing Dillon loves more than trash talk, it's lighting up the Bay. He's hit this in 10 straight games at Golden State, averaging almost 16 points. This man treats trips to the Bay like a personal revenge tour. Put them both together for a plus 134, Just the Stat Sports play of the day.
All right, if you want to go ahead and sign up for Just the Stat Sports, you can use the code BTT30 and scan that QR code right there. But justthestatsports.com is where you can go to using that code BTT30. First 30 days free on us. All right, Rafael, I'm going to come back to you on that one. Did we go over or under on the jokes today? Because I feel like they weren't there as much.
No, I think it was 3. I was trying to count that. I have to go back there because there's an inquiry. So I'll use the word that horse racing uses all the time. There's an inquiry, so I'll go back and check that out later on.
And Soupy, I have a question for you. I was told a little birdie, and I don't know if you even know this, and I don't think that you know that your nickname is this, but I believe you teamed up with a trio led by Big Tommy C, Tommy Carlucci, and then Robbie Hockey of Weekend Wagers and Weekday Wagers. But they've given you a name. How do you feel about this? The Soupy Star?
Yeah, that's what I call myself every day before I wake up every morning. I look in the mirror. I'm like, you're a soupy star.
Rafael, is he allowed to call himself Soupy Star?
Why am I here on a Friday after that joke?
Normally, Rafael's not here on a Friday, but we're here, and we thank you for being here with us. We have so much that we're going to get into, and so we don't want you going anywhere. We're talking the Kentucky Derby, and Talk Derby to me is everybody's favorite segment and your new favorite segment for sure. But we also have a little Hoop It Up. Here in about 18 minutes, we're going to get into all of the Hoop It Up stuff, but also we have one word, and we're talking a little boxing, and then a little Halliburton. The Indiana Pacers have now kind of suspended him in a quiet way from returning to the games because of his incident with Giannis. But we'll be doing all of that and much more when we get back here at Coaching Company. All right, we are getting into a little bit, and I want to ask about that rain. I know we're going to get into the Kentucky Derby real quick, Rafael, but the rain, is it expected to come today, but also extend throughout the entire weekend?
They're expecting rain starting right anywhere between 2 and 3 thunderstorms this evening, and then tomorrow is supposed to be like 60 to 70% chance of rain. And not that much thunderstorm, mostly the heavy stuff is tonight. But that means it's going to affect the track, even though Churchill Downs has a great drainage system. It's not going to be too damaging. But some of these horses just do not like the slop, and some of these horses might even just pull out and say, hey, you know what? We'll save our horse for another day. So today and tomorrow could be very interesting for the Oaks and the Derby.
Wow, that's big, and we'll talk about all of that and much more here coming up. But Zeno, I'm going to come to you on Mike Trout. He's now on the injured list and with a bruised knee. Are we seeing this happen too much with Mike Trout, and does it kind of just hurt his lore a little bit of being one of the best in the game?
Well, it doesn't hurt being one of the best in baseball history. I mean, he had a 7-year run that was rivaled Mickey Mantle, for crying out loud. So, the numbers and his place in history are pretty much solidified at this point in time. But he's a guy who broke down, much similar to Ken Griffey Jr. You remember him more for the end of his career and the injuries and what could have been than necessarily what was, and that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, Subi, what do you make of Trout being hurt so much in his career?
It's just unfortunate because Zeno said he was one. He had one of those stretches, one of the best I think we've ever seen, especially in the modern era. And we all expected him to just break records. And when he said it before I did. Ken Griffey Jr. Going to Cincinnati, you thought he was going to replicate these numbers. He didn't. I think if he did, he would have beaten Hank Aaron's record at that time. It's one of those like even think about like a Derek Rose or Grant Hill. Like what could have been.
Yeah, what could have been, Chuck? About 15 seconds on Mike Trout and his injuries.
We were actually waiting to see. We knew it was all coming, but I keep saying, let the man DH so he doesn't have so much wear and tear on his body to maximize his abilities.
Yeah, it's sad, but Mike Trout should be back this season, so it's not going to be season ending, we don't assume. But he should be back, but he is one of the best when he's playing. We'll be back here in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back right here at Coaching Company. I am stepping in for Coach, who was he's out on a travel day, and so I'm going to be kind of leading the ship if you're just joining us. But we're about to get into a little bit of the Kentucky Derby and talk a little bit of explaining to the casual fans, because I play and I bet on the Kentucky Derby every year, but I always struggle with fully understanding it. So if you're just like me, go ahead and stay tuned as we talk Derby to me. Talk Derby to me. All right, Rafael. We hit in the break a little bit about the weather, and so the weather, starting to come in. That's going to be one of the biggest talked about things. So if you're looking to bet, is this a thing where you would hold off because of potential bad weather, or are you saying, hey, let's go ahead and get my picks in now?
I would say if you like your horse, get it in now. Some of these horses, like Sandman and all these, they don't mind running in the mud, so it doesn't affect anything. Now, the ladies, the Kentucky Oaks, I think it affects them more than it will tomorrow in the Derby. But that means if there's rain or a bad track, that means some bombs are going to happen. So you can get some really, really nice prices on horses that you thought maybe just can come in second or third, and all of a sudden they win the race. So you can get a lot of good money coming in on a Derby for a nice number.
Oaks today.
I mean, yeah, it has to at least change your thinking a little bit. Look, and a lot of these horses you see, even if you kind of research their history and look at it, they don't have a lot of experience running in slop. So you have really no idea how they're going to react. Some horses, as we talked about, they don't like, the jockey now has to put them in a different position, take them to the outside, keep the mud out of their face because they don't like it splatting up and hitting them while they're running. It just changes the logic a little bit here. But, in theory, the best horses should still rise to the top.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stay with you there because we just saw the graphic pop up, and we're just going to go ahead and get into your winner because you do have some horse that you like the most. So let's go ahead and get to who you think wins the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I think it's Sandman. Look, I have all the respect in the world for journalism as a horse. He runs a very clean race. His trips are very consistent. He stalks around third, fourth, and he knows when to make the move in the turn to get himself in position in the stretch. Sandman has been very erratic throughout his career. He's had 8 races. He's placed in 6 of them. In his 3-year-old year so far, the 2 races he finished in second and third in, he had bad breaks from from the starting gate. He has to have a clean break here. And I actually think the 17 post position may help him out a little bit, given the fact that he'll be in that extended gate. He won't have as many horses around him when he gets clear. It's just a question of how quickly can the jockey Jose Ortiz put him in position to get him where he needs to go. He's going to stalk at about 8th or 9th, maybe even 10th around for the first, half mile of this race, but you'll see him. This is the one horse in the race that when I watch tape of all these horses here, Rafael, his burst is noticeable. It's like playing a video game with a nitro button, a driving game, and you see the car literally move faster than the rest of them. He has got that. Now, if you watch in the top of the stretch what Sandman does, that burst comes in. Why was he not able to recover from the bad breaks in those other races? Because they were a mile and a 16th. This is a mile and a quarter. He's going to have 2 extra furlongs here to be able to make up ground, just the same way he won the Arkansas Derby, which is a mile and an eighth or a mile and 2/16. That's the reason why he was able to do it. He's going to have that extra push in the stretch here to be able to overcome, and I think he overtakes journalism in the stretch and wins the thing.
Rafael, who do you like there? Piggybacking on that, obviously you like Sandman, but who are the other horses?
Yeah, Sandman, in the Rebel Stakes, he came in third, and he had a horrible break, but his speed made him hit the board. I didn't think he was going to be able to even hit the board with a bad break in the Rebel Stakes. I like Luxor Cafe. It's a Japanese horse. No Japanese horse has ever won a Derby, but came in second last year. And why not? This horse has American Pharoah blood inside him, and we all know what American Pharoah did at the Derby. And another one, the 21 horse, Baez, just got into the party yesterday because of Rodriguez being scratched. Second in the Santa Anita Derby. There's no way Baez is going to be 29-1. That's what he is right now currently. Opened up at 32-1. And Flavian Pratt is now going to be the jockey. He was going to be the jockey and the second horse. But if he switches to go on the 21 horse and Baez, he has something to do with this one. I loved a great value on this one. It can be a nice long shot. And I think journalism will be around. But Sano, if the Sandman, if this was 1 through 15, I don't think I would even have Sandman in my picks. I just like the way he's outside the gate. And I think that's going to be a very, very good way for him to even win this race. 1 through 15, I might have just scratched him.
Explain a little bit more on how you're going to attack this, because you do have multiple horses, and Zeno gave a winner, and that's easy to, look, I can even figure out how to bet a winner, okay? But there's different ways.
I would tell you real quick. I mean, I would box exact to journalism and say that's what I would do. And by a box exact, it means they can finish 1-2. It doesn't matter the order. As long as those 2 horses finish first and second, you'll get paid out on a box exacta.
Okay, and a box exacta, really, you're just looking for 2 horses, put them in, and you can easily find it. If you have no idea what we're talking about, this is probably your first time, but you can look on it and select box and then box exacta. It's very simple, but these are the key terms to know. How else are you going to attack this, Rafael?
I'm going to do the try box on this one. I'm actually going to throw in a 13 horse in Publisher, the other Ortiz brother that's on this one, and also has American Pharoah blood on him. I just think 28-1. Try box means first, second, and third. Doesn't matter what order. Now, when you're playing these, it's going to say trifecta, and then next to it, it's going to say box. Make sure you click the box on it, because if you just hit trifecta, that means your horses needs to come in that exact order. Make sure you hit trifecta box or exacta box. Always the box button.
Hey, DG, let me real quick. I'm curious to ask Rafi's thoughts here on this, because this actually was something I had. Rodriguez, when he scratched, that was going to be the pace horse. He's the speed horse in this race, and he was going to get out to the lead and set the pace. And it might have been a more grueling pace than what some of these horses were really ready for. That was Rodriguez's game plan, is to try to take, the early lead and make everybody play catch up. Now that he's not there, I'm curious as to who sets the pace, and I'm curious how that affects the other horses, particularly a horse like Sandman, who will wait till the final turn or the top of the stretch to really make a move.
I think the one horse will now set that pace. And that's why I kind of like Luxor Cafe, because if it was Rodriguez being on there, I thought Luxor Cafe would be chasing him the whole race and then gas out. So when Rodriguez got scratched, I moved up to Luxor Cafe, because I think Luxor Cafe wants nothing to do with the one horse that's probably going to take the lead.
Wow. All right, boys, that's incredible. The fact that, just the back and forth of trying to explain the Kentucky Derby is very tough, but you did a very good job. All right, we're going to do a quick segment that we like to always call here, One Word. All right, we're going to do a little quick one word here before, that way we can get in a little bit more of what's happening around the sports world, because the Kentucky Derby is incredible. And then the information that we receive from that is just enlightening. But let's go ahead and piggyback. We're going to Rafael all the way down to Soupy here. We're going to go ahead and piggyback. But Tyrese Halliburton's dad has now been asked by the Indiana Pacers front office organization to kind of step away from coming to these games. And so looking into all of that, what is maybe one word that would best describe this for you?
Bummer. He should have been worse. They should be more than just a playoffs. You should not be on the court with another player with a stare down. What if Giannis threw a punch? What if the dad threw a punch? Bummer. You should have been suspended for a couple more games or a couple more weeks next year as well.
Zeno.
Yeah, stupid. I mean, like, I'm not sure why. There is a clear line where fans belong and don't belong. You know where I know you never belong? On the field, on the court, wherever it is. Keep your butt in your seat and stay there and enjoy the game. It's not really difficult. Grow up.
I'm going to use the hyphen for timeout. I'm sure he was told he needs to sit back and relax after his last actions. Hopefully, at his age, he grows from this and he can actually learn, being as old as he is.
Politely, it seems like they've been very nicely. Can you please not come to the game? No, you confronted the best player in the game. You got to tell him just get out. But I know what they're trying to do. They're not trying to piss off Tyrese Halliburton. That's your best player. You got to be nice to the family, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be so much that comes from that, and hopefully they just want this to go away. All right, we got one more that we want to get into, and it is the big event that is in New York. It's right outside of Madison Square Garden. It is boxing, and it's happening tonight. Rafael, you know a lot about what's happening. So very briefly, go ahead and explain the fighters that are going to be taking place, and then give me your one word as we piggyback and we end the segment here.
Well, actually, the fights are outside on Times Square. That's why the rain could be issuing. I mean, it's not going to hit in the ring, but it's outside in Times Square. And there's 3 fights on there, all 3 belts: Garcia, Haney, and Lopez, all on the card. All 3 of them could be going at it in their next fight in September. But my one word is chalk. If you're going to have a big event outside, how about closer fights? 2 of these 3 fights are minus 1,600 or higher. How about some really good competitive fights, not a bunch of heavyweights that's going to be just blown away?
Zeno.
Sideshow. I mean, still, I would tell you that, I'll be perfectly honest, I was not even aware that this event was taking place. Nothing has attracted me in the boxing world since, I don't know, the last 15 years, since the heavyweight division fell apart. No, I mean, this is not something that I think, if you're not a New Yorker or living in New York, I don't know what's the reason to watch this outside as opposed to on TV. Like, I don't think it's a draw for the sport.
Creative. Anytime that you can have a boxing match outside of Times Square and get some eyes on the sport to go up against the UFC, I don't think it's a bad thing, especially from a sport that struggles against the UFC.
Attraction. If you've been in Times Square before, you see the bright lights of stores. There's the naked cowboy. This is just another attraction, something to go see in Times Square. All right, let me go stop at Sbarro's over with the connection.
Oh,
and then
God.
I'll go watch a boxing match.
First of all, you picked a terrible pizza place. Second of all, any native New Yorker knows you never go to Times Square, ever. That's the last place you want to be.
What's wrong with Sbarro's?
Oh, God. It's terrible.
Sbarro's taking shots, just kind of just strays out here. All right, one quick thing, Zeno.
Yeah.
Best pizza place in New York. Do you have anywhere?
I mean, there's plenty of them, but
one.
Joe's in Midtown's very, very good. That's where I go.
Does anybody have a pizza place in New York?
No, because I live in New Haven.
Yeah,
the best pizza in the world.
Wow. All right. Well, that is going to be big, and it's an attraction. At the end of the day, it is an attraction, and that's what New York ends up being. It's just a place for an attraction, and so I think it's a great idea. And I think it was Chuck that was talking about being creative. You're trying to get eyes on a sport that is kind of dying a little bit, and so very smart by the marketing team to put that out. Well, we have so much that we're going to get into. We're going to talk a little hoop it up. But then we got the video from Peyton against Prize Pick Soupy. We're going to get into some more Prize Picks here in about 18 minutes as we're back right here at Coach and Company. All right, let's go ahead and bring the guys back in. And I was not aware of this. And so hopefully some of you are aware of this because I had no idea. David Beckham, 50th birthday. Who knew? Rafael, did you have any idea that David Beckham was 50?
I can't believe I'm older than David Beckham. I think when I saw that, I got all depressed. So I can't believe I'm 1 year older than him. So if he's 50, I'm ancient.
Chuck, you're our soccer guy. Does this mean a little bit more to you that the fact that David Beckham's 50th birthday?
People don't realize David Beckham is a huge star. He's the one who got Messi here. That's a huge accomplishment in itself. But I can remember when he come to the MLS, he really put that league on the map. So he's a huge star. So happy birthday, Mr. Beckham.
I actually used a phrase yesterday when I was giving my hitting lessons, Zeno, and it was bend it like Beckham a little bit. And the kid had no idea what I was talking about. But does this surprise you about his 50th birthday?
Is he still married to a Spice Girl?
Yep.
Sure.
3 kids.
Good for him. There you go. Good for him.
Soupy, we know your love of David Beckham. I can see it in your eyes.
I actually do like David Beckham.
Okay.
I'm a big, yeah, I know who David Beckham is. I know, but at this point, if he tries to bend it, he's probably going to break a hip.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, that means I would too.
That's what you do know that Rafael's the older. He just said that on the show, and you're going to just kind of just make fun of older people. Like Coach is definitely, Coach is the oldest one on the show. So, his hips are, he's been in the wrestling ring. Do you not think that he's hurting too? Just hearing us talking about it. Rafael, there is so much happening in the sports world. Is there one thing other than the boxing, because that's all you talked about, that you're going to be watching this weekend? If you had to choose just one.
For me, it's the Derby, just because I remember working 15 straight years in a sports book. So you have the Derby all day, playoff, NHL, NBA, and then I would run over to MGM and watch either UFC or boxing. So for me, it was always Derby first, and then playoffs, and then boxing or UFC second. So it's a big day. I just remember the great times working there.
Real quick, what number is the Derby? What race number?
12.
12? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Does it change every year? Am I an idiot?
No.
Okay, cool. I am an idiot. All right, we'll be back here just here in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back to Coaching Company right here live on Stadium. We've talked a lot about the Derby, and we've given you our picks, but we haven't talked about hoops just yet. There was a big shot last night from Jalen Brunson. We're going to get into all of that, especially the game tonight between the Rockets and the Warriors in our segment that we like to call Hoop It Up. All right, Rafael, let's start with you, and then we'll kind of go down the line a little bit talking about that shot in the game last night. So we're going to recap a little bit of that before we get into the games that are upcoming this weekend. But Rafael, that Jalen Brunson shot last night, just completely clutch.
Yeah, he was just on fire. I mean, he knew that was going in when he let it out of his hands. It was just unbelievable that the way he carried that team. But the bench was also a big key. They had some good offensive rebounds and tip backs. I thought the bench was one of the main reasons why the Knicks. But I'm excited to watch Celtics next series.
You said bench, and you talked about the New York Knicks. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know they used their bench. I thought it was J.J. Redick living in Tom Thibodeau's shadow.
They played pretty well. They gave some rest minutes to Cat when he needed it.
Some very little. Zeno, what'd you make of that game last night?
Look, I've been a Knicks fan as long as I've been alive, and even though, full disclosure, I bet Detroit money line last night, watching the best closer in the NBA make that shot was worthwhile. And look, without exaggeration, Jalen Brunson literally is the greatest Knick. Like, move over Patrick Ewing. Like, I don't know what to tell. Like, look, nobody wins championships for the Knicks, so that's not the barometer, right? Like, just the fact of the matter is that Jalen Brunson has put more of a team on his back in the last 2 years than Patrick Ewing ever did. And that's no disrespect to Patrick Ewing, but he is the greatest Knick of my lifetime.
Wow. I never would have thought I'd ever heard that. Chuck, do you agree Jalen Brunson the best Knick of all time?
Better than Phil Jackson?
As a player, yeah. As a coach, no.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
well, go ahead, Chuck.
I was going to agree. I definitely thought that was a Piston spot last night. I saw them winning. I thought they were going to pull away. The next thing you know, it's tied, and then game.
Yeah. Is that Subi? Is that a bad, I guess, defensive play by Asar Thompson? who's been locking up. I wouldn't say locking up. He played really well against Jalen Brunson the entire game. But is that like a bad miss key defensively, or do you think that was just Jalen Brunson just getting off and getting a shot?
I think a little bit. Jalen Brunson got way too much room to hit that shot. I mean, I saw the crossover. Shouldn't have completely shattered his ankles, but it was a good move by Brunson. Brunson, he is the clutch player of the year, the Kia clutch player of the year. So it's on brand for him. That was a great shot. And Knicks Celtics is going to be a fun series.
For who?
Yeah.
Not the Knicks.
Yeah.
Wasn't gonna say it.
Knicks in 7.
Wow.
Wow, that's right.
We're going to give our predictions in the very end about the two Eastern Conference matchups. But before we get there, let's take a look at the game tonight. It's going to be against it's the Houston Rockets going in to Golden State to take on the Warriors tonight. And if you're looking at this line, looks like it's up to 5.5. I don't think it's moved much. And Rafael, you're our numbers guy. What's your take on this game tonight between Houston and Golden State?
It's actually opened up at 3.5 and got bet all the way up to 5.5. So now buyback is coming in because now some 5s are popping up on Golden State. I think it's going to float around between 4.5 and 5. I don't think we see the opening number again. The total is going to be the one that I'm watching for. It opened up at 204. Now it's 206.5. There is some 207s. I thought it was going to open up at 206. So opening up a number at 204.5 with offensive Warriors at home, the role players will probably hit some shots. I thought that was a low total.
Zeno, your take on this game?
Yeah, I don't think the spread matters, to be honest with you. I think Golden State wins and covers easily, or the Rockets win outright. And really what this hinges on is the Rockets had their 2 best shooting performances in the last 2 games, which is why they had their 2 highest scoring outputs. I don't see that happening for a 3rd game in a row. And as we mentioned earlier, Golden State saddled their starters in the 4th quarter. Nobody played more than 25 minutes. They'll have fresher legs in this thing than the Rockets will, and they'll have home court advantage. I expect that the Warriors defense wins out, much similar to the way it did in the 2 lowest scoring games of the series for the Rockets when they scored less than 100. I think Soupy's right. Rockets stay under 100. Warriors win and cover this thing easily.
All right, Soupy, your prize picks are coming up here in about 15 minutes, but your take on this game just overall.
Yeah, a lot of things in the last game happened for the Rockets. I don't think are going to happen again. They shot 11 for 17 in the first quarter, 5 for 9 from 3. They went 13 for 13 from the free throw line, 82% in that entire game. During the regular season, they were the worst free throw percentage team at 73%. A lot of that stuff is not going to happen again. I think that the Warriors, their defense is going to take over. Everyone's got fresher legs. I think that the Warriors easily cover this game and they end this series tonight.
Chuck, you're our totals guy. Anything you like about the totals just in general on this game?
Total definitely sticks out to me. I saw it at 203, 204. Now I'm seeing some 207, 207 and a halves. I will say I would think the correlation would be the Warriors and under than the Rockets and over. It had went an under in 7 straight before these last 2. I would still more look towards the under and the Warriors in this spot.
All right. Well, a game last night between the Clippers and the Nuggets. That game is going to be Game 7 on Saturday, and the Clippers 111 to 105. As we look at that game, a little bit on last night, but also if you want to look ahead, your thoughts on going into Game 7. Rafael, your thoughts on either last night or looking ahead to this Game 7. Do you like the Nuggets, Clippers? You can probably get money line on either and maybe staying away from that spread, but what do you like about this matchup?
I like the Clippers in this series, and it's all about what James Harden and you're going to get. He was phenomenal yesterday, and then when last time we saw him in Denver, he was MIA. It all depends on what James Harden you're going to get if you're a Clippers fan. That's why I think he's going to play better than he did last time he was in Denver. I still like the Clippers at this spot in Game 7.
All right, that's one for Clippers. Zeno.
I'll add one thing here that's interesting. Look, I know Game 7 totals are always depressed, but sometimes there is an overreaction in the marketplace to a depressed total. You're seeing totals in this series that went 217 through 213, 211, 209, back to 212, and now we're down to 204. Feels like a lot to adjust this line. Give me 207, 206, all right, but 204 starts to feel a little bit low.
Right. That is a super low. And I would assume that Mark from Just That Sports will give us what the model looks like on this game. But Soupy, what's your thoughts on a Game 7 Saturday? It's at, I believe it's 7:30, 7:30 Eastern on Saturday night. A perfect time for basketball. What's your thoughts?
when we were analyzing all the series coming up, we said this was the one that was going to probably go 7 games, and it hasn't disappointed. The Clippers probably could have maybe won it last night if they learned how to box out, and they could have went to overtime and maybe have beaten Denver. It's all about, James Harden. We've seen Kawhi Leonard look vintage in this series, but James Harden has to support him. Norman Powell has to support him. Zubats, because Niko Jokic is going to get his points. Jamal Murray has been great, and even Aaron Gordon has been playing better. The Clippers collectively, along with that second unit, need to just be on point throughout the whole game, or else I think Denver could win.
All right. And Chuck, on the total, anything you like there that you're seeing?
I was seeing I saw a 209 when I originally captured it. Now I'm seeing some 205s. You may have missed the best of the number, even though they've went under. It looks like 12 of the last 18 between these two has went under. Maybe a tricky one, maybe a defensive battle, but I would definitely lead Clippers and under in this spot.
All right. Well, looks like the Just That Sports model has the Nuggets on the money line winning, and they have it going over that 204.5. And then we're going back to that Warriors. I believe the model is projecting the total to be at 216. So if you're looking at that, they're going over. So it looks like it's an over in the game 6 tonight, and then Saturday, game 7. All right, let's look real quick, and then we'll kind of go down the line and I want to ask you about a series. I'm not going to pick on game ones or anything like that just yet, but we have the Pacers and the Cavs, and we'll go top to bottom as we are on here. Rafael, who do you have winning the series within the Pacers and the Cavs?
I have Cavs in 6. I think the Pacers can steal 2 games, but man, the Cavs bench and their role players they just know what to do. And I just think if we see anything, I wouldn't surprise if the Cavs win in 5. I could see 6 games.
All right, Soupy.
The transformation for the Cavs last year being more defensive minded, this year now they're the best offensive team, is been amazing to watch, and they're deep. I think the Pacers are good enough to contend in a few games. I got to agree with Rafael. I think it is going to be Cavs in 6.
All right, we got 2 Cavs in 6. Zeno, do you got anything different?
I mean, I don't really think this is going to be much of a series. Probably Cavaliers in 5. Let's not overvalue the Pacers here. The Cavaliers are by far a better team on both ends of the floor, and they're the better shooting team. I mean, with all due respect to Tyrese Halliburton and his errant father, the Cavaliers will smack them both pretty handily.
No, not the dad. All right, let's go with you, Chuck. What you got here on this series?
I definitely love the Cavs in the playoffs. I do think the Pacers will give them a little bit of problems. They won 3 out of 4 this season. I think this is an over series, though. If you're looking for points, this is the one.
All right, we're going to go 20 seconds on this one, and so we can make sure we have plenty of time to get out of here for our next segment. But we're going Knicks, Celtics. Real quick, Rafael, what you got?
I already said Knicks in 7. Shocks the world. Knicks advances.
Wow, Soupy.
Celtics in 5. Knicks don't have a deep enough bench to compete with the Celtics.
They're banged up. Zeno, what do you think? You're the Knicks guy.
I won't even say it. I'll just show it to you.
Wow. All right, let's keep it moving. Chuck, your thoughts on this series? Did the Knicks have any chance? Rafael is kind of in a hope and a prayer at this point.
Maybe a gentleman's sweep, but it looks like the Celtics have won 9 out of the last 10, so they've had this Knicks team.
They haven't even been close. They haven't been close.
Wow.
Give me the Celtics.
What was the series, Zeno or Chuck? Do you know the series this year between the Knicks
Celtics swept it.
Wow. So you think that, and Zeno, back to you, there's no way that you think that the Knicks have a chance in this series?
I think I have a better chance at marrying a Spice Girl than the Knicks winning this series.
Rafael, how do the Knicks win the series?
Someone gets injured, and that's why the Knicks.
The Celtics get locked in their team hotel.
Tatum gets hurt.
So that's what we're going for at this point. We're just thinking that potentially somebody could get hurt. That's going to be Jalen Brunson.
I want OKC to win a championship, and I think they can easily beat the Knicks, and I think they have trouble with the Celtics.
All right, you are my least favorite person today. Talking about OKC wanting to win, no. You know me and my beef with OKC fans right now. We're not doing this. That's why we cut you off, Rafael. But we're going to get into a little bit of the Soupy's prize picks coming up here in just a few minutes as we get you there. But also here in the break, we're going to talk a little bit about the Stanley Cup. We haven't talked enough about hockey and what's happening unless you're listening to Weekday Wagers. But we'll be back here with Coaching Company here in just a few minutes. All right, let's get to the guys. And I want to start off with Chuck here because I know he is big in the hockey. And so, Chuck, I'm going to ask you your opinion on the NHL and really how it's shaping up. Your thoughts just overall and the playoffs as a whole as of right now, Chuck.
Playoffs in the NHL have been as good as advertised. I think this Florida team is going to be tricky again. They just come out. They people thought Tampa would give them a little bit better of a test. That didn't turn out well. And then Vegas, Minnesota was a tough matchup for them, but they got through it. But Vegas is not as good as they have been in the past. I'm looking at Florida. I think Florida is going to be the one to get through the whole thing.
Super, your thoughts on the NHL playoffs as a whole right now?
I'm looking at the Capitals.
Wow.
Montreal got a couple games on, but I still think they look great. The Kings and Oilers, that series did not disappoint. Oilers came back; they won 4 straight. I think they have a great chance to get back to the finals, and I'm excited for Jets and St. Louis because that's the 1-8 seed, and St. Louis has a chance to force a Game 7. That's what makes the NHL playoffs so exciting: is that an 8 seed can truly beat a 1 seed.
I watched the NHL game the other day. I know you'll be proud of me. Zeno, your thoughts on the NHL?
I'm kind of hoping the Oilers pull off the upset and Connor McDavid wins a cup. I
Same.
want to get this out of the way early.
100%. I would love him to win a
I
cup.
want to get this out of the way early.
Yep.
Other than that, here's what I would love. I would love a Maple Leafs Oilers. As much as an all Canada Stanley Cup final kills ratings in America, like I just need one of those two teams to win something before I die.
Rafael.
We're missing the most important thing that we've seen in the playoffs: goals. Normally in NHL players, we don't see goals at all. We're seeing 6, 7 touchdowns all over the place. Goals has been the biggest surprise in the NHL playoffs.
All right, Soupy, who do you want to win just overall? If you had to pick one team right now today, who's winning it?
100%. I want the Oilers to win. I had them at the beginning of the season. This team with Draisaitl and McDavid and Hyman and Nugent Hopkins, they have been together for years. They've been together for a few years, and they're all locked in for another few years. They have a chance to put a dynasty together if they can just get through the hump and win this one.
All right, right back. All right, we are back here at Coaching Company live on Stadium. And if you've been with us the entire show, thank you so much. But if you're just getting here, you're getting here at a great time because we have our buddy Soupy coming in with a little prize picks. And so I know you're going to be talking about multi-sport here. So what you got on your prize picks today, Soup?
Yeah, I'm going to start locking with the one NBA game tonight, Warriors, Rockets. I got Jimmy Butler going over 21 points. He hasn't covered this in 2 games because he played 25 minutes in the last game because it was a blowout, and he played 8 minutes in game 2 because he got hurt. I think he's going to play his 40 minutes. They want to win this game. They don't want to take it back to the Bay. He's going more than 21 points. And I'm going with Teoscar Hernandez, 10 RBIs in his last 6 games, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. He's going against Grant Holmes. He's 1 for 2. That one, it's a home run. So just right off the bat there, he could get his RBI. And Hunter Green, I think he's a potential Cy Young candidate. Over the last couple of years, he's really improved the way he's pitching because he's putting more movement on that fastball that can hit triple digits. No problem. More than 7.5 strikeouts against the Nats, who are 27th in strikeout rate since April 24th.
One, I do love Hunter Green, fastball, triple digits, like you said, but also he has an out pitch. And that's the difference. If you're looking for a strikeout guy, Hunter Green has the out pitch. Talking about Jimmy Butler, though, the 21 points, a little high, especially on a game that, I know we're looking at potentially could be more over the 204.5 tonight. I believe that maybe that's not the number on that game, but you do like him, even though he hasn't been completely scoring and he didn't look really great last game.
He's hit this when he's played, a full game. The only time he hasn't hit this is the game he got hurt, and the last game when he only played 25 minutes.
Okay.
The Warriors are going to go out and try to win this game. They don't want it to go to a game 7. So I think Butler gets 35, 40 minutes in, and I think he gets over this.
All right. Well, go ahead and get those, but also that demon pick from Teoscar Hernandez there with the RBI. I like your looks today. Maybe we can shut Peyton up maybe I'll get on your side on this one. Maybe I'll team up with Soupy and go ahead and complete the 4-pack of guys with led by Tommy Carlucci. But if you weren't here, and I know, listen, it's a long show, and you might have not just got out of bed on the West Coast in time to catch our picks. But that's why, just in case lines move or you're not here, we always have something that we have. Lock it in. All right, let's go 15 seconds or less. And looks like Soupy's at the top. Let's go top to bottom here. What you got, Soup?
Let's start with the Mets' first 5 money line. They're the 5th most profitable team on the first 5, and they have the 3rd most wins at 17, going against the Cardinals, who have been struggling lately. And then Rockets, hey, great job. You scored 131 points in Game 5. That ain't happening again. They have scored 100 points in this series. They're going to do it again tonight, and this series is over tonight.
Ooh, little Footy Friday, Footy Saturday. What you got, Chuck?
Yeah, Footy Friday starting on Saturday. Bundesliga, Gladbach, Hoffenheim. I like Hoffenheim as a dog in this spot. First half, team total over half a goal. They've scored 5 first half goals in their last 4 matches. France Ligue 1, Strasbourg, PSG, Strasbourg. First half, team total over half a goal. Strasbourg team total over 1.5 goal. They average 1.9 at home. And then MLS Saturday night, we have San Jose in Portland. San Jose team total over 1.5. They've actually averaged 2.5 team goals at home. And then lastly, Sunday, EPL, Brighton, Newcastle. Brighton have scored a first half goal in 9 of 10. And Newcastle, a first half goal in 6 straight. Go ahead and give me both teams to score in the first half.
We're going to the track. Kentucky Oaks. What you got there, Rafael?
Yeah, we're going to race 11 Kentucky Oaks. Give me $20 win, place, and show on a number 7 horse lock. 6-1 odds right now. Win, place, and show means all he has to do is come first, second, or third. Even if he just comes in third, we're probably going to get our money back at 6-1 odds. 3 starts this year, 2 first, 1 second. So we're going to go with the number 7 horse. And in the NBA, give me Dillon Brooks over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Just in playoff hoops, he's averaging 15 points a game and almost 4 boards.
All right, let's go to our last guy. Zeno, you're going to the diamond.
Yeah, Yankees raised first 5 under 4.5. You get Max Fried on the mound for New York against the worst hitting lineup in all of baseball against left-handers in the Rays, and they don't score a ton on the road. Lowest scoring lineup on the road this year. And then we'll go out west, San Fran, taking on the Rockies, who miraculously have won 2 in a row. Well, guess what? That comes to an end tonight. Robbie Ray 6-0, or the Giants are 6-0 when Robbie Ray starts here. They should do more than enough here to cover the 1.5.
All right, go ahead and get that Giants in against those Rockies. All right, we got a Justice Stat Sports Play of the Day from Mark. What you got, sir?
DG, we're going to go with Chicago White Sox starting pitcher Jonathan Cannon to let that cannon fire away. He's going to get over 3.5 strikeouts. We're going to pair him with Houston Dillon Brooks to score at least 10 points. Put them both together for a plus 134 play of the day.
Go ahead and get a little BTT30 right here using that code at justicestatsports.com. It helps you get 30 days free on us. You can go ahead and scan that QR code today, or you can go over to justicestatsports.com and use that code BTT30 and get your 30 free days. All right, we have something, and I'm not going to be happy about this because I have seen the inside info, but we have Rafael's inside info. What you got, Raf?
I'm sorry, DG, but the Atlanta Braves are 2-10 in their last 12 games after scoring 2 runs or less in their last game. The Braves' offense has been horrific so far this year.
I don't like that. I don't even want to comment about whatever you just had. I don't even want to talk. But my issue is 2 or less. So the next game, like they're just like not scoring at all. Like I don't believe that. The Braves have played a lot better lately.
The key word you said lately.
Couldn't have played much worse than 0-7 for the record, so there is that.
They just like to continue to suck. That's what it is.
I don't like it. Mark, I want to get your thoughts on hockey because we talked about hockey there in our last break, but a lot of guys have picked different teams to win, and I want to get your thoughts overall about hockey, the playoffs right now, but then give me your winner, sir.
I think the playoffs have been shaping up. They've been exciting to watch. Lots of goal scoring. We haven't seen the low scoring kind of beat down playoff hockey that we've grown accustomed to. Unfortunately, I disagree with two people on the panel. I don't think the cup is staying in Canada. I mean, let's be honest. Toronto has built an entire team around nothing but disappointment in the playoffs. So hoping that they win somehow. The last time they won, somebody got put on the moon for the first time. So I'm not really banking on Toronto to do much here. That being said, I don't think that the cup stays on the East either. I think it actually goes out West. And I think the Colorado Avalanche surprise everybody and hoist the cup in Denver.
Or simply the fact that we have now heard, I think 3 or 4 different teams be, talked about winning is important for the fact that, you're talking about hockey and you can't talk about that with probably the NBA right now. I think you'd say maybe 3, you're probably comfortable saying the 4th team, but the fact that hockey has had that many teams it says something. But Mark, last thing, weekend wagers. Go ahead and give us a little promo for the good people, what they can expect today at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Lots of fun. You're going to get lots of fun, lots of great information. You're going to get our 12-pack of picks and bring your saloon shot entry so you can get a mug.
Chuck, are you ever going to join us on Weekend Wagers so you can get into the saloon?
I'm just waiting on the invite.
Well, the one person we will not invite ever is Rafael. If that's okay with you, Rafael, you're just not ever going to be invited.
Is it a parlay show? Is that why?
Very good one. All right.
That got personal.
Yeah, it did get personal. Well, Rafael's the one who said that we would never have extend more than 4 shows, but we're already beating that. But great show, boys. It's been a great Friday so far. And listen, if you missed out this week and you're just joining us for the first time, thank you so much. But yes, Coach will be back Monday, and he'll be back in better than ever. He'll be raring to go as he always is. But another good Friday. Thank you all for hanging out with us. For our guys, for Chuck, for Soupy, for Zeno, Rafael. Never forget producer man, and then my guy Mark on Weekend Wagers. Make sure you check us out today right here at Coaching Company. 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be there hosting the ship, but that's all we got. It has been so much fun today, and I hope you've been entertained, but also I've gotten a little bit smarter. But we'll see you all back Monday right here at Coaching Company.